We're back.
Aamin na siya? Wala ba tayo? Totoo.
Yep, she's been lying under oath. Well, technically, actually, she hasn't been lying at all.
Okay na, basahin mo na ta?
I already read that. All right, the witness may testify once more for the final time. And then she goes on to do 2 more testimonies.
Yeah, actual crimes.
When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on that suit of armor sword. Emma and Dark were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what had happened, I thought she did it. That's why I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Gant help me remove the body from the sword and carry it. But if it all really was a fabrication, Emma might be innocent.
Na-realize na niya, no?
Unbelievable! The body was impaled on the armor sword. You were the only one who saw that. If only you had proof. She does. And we have it. It's in the court record.
Huh?
Actually, I do have proof. I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning. Remember that?
Hindi.
It was during recess. It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed. But I don't remember receiving a picture like that. Lana must have known. Llama? I almost called her a llama. See, Mr. Wright, she really does have faith in you. Yeah, I'm coughing a little from the smell. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please, present this picture. I don't remember receiving any pictures from
Yung
Lana.
notebook ba? Yung book?
Lana said she gave it to you this morning, right?
Yung book?
I seem to remember getting something from her then. It was sent by Detective Gumshoe.
Kaya nga yung book.
Let's check that evidence again. There must be a picture in there somewhere.
Ito?
You seem so sure of yourself.
Ayun na yung nakaipit. Ito. Diba?
Turn it around to the other side. And then click on it. No, a little bit more to the right. No, the mouse I meant. Up. Right. Right. Go more to the right. No, your mouse. Move it to the right. That's not right. That's down. Go up. There.
Bakit?
There. Hey, there's a picture here.
Kiniklik ko ng kiniklik yung ano.
Oh my. This is the actual crime scene. No other detective saw the crime scene like this.
Kaya di ba sabi niya parati siyang may baong flashlight at camera.
The picture. Because I contacted Criminal Affairs only after I had rearranged everything. Mr. Wright! That piece cut out from his vest. Could that be? There's a piece of his vest cut out. The cloth we
yung
found
may kamay.
inside Chief Gant's safe. Oh. Wouldn't that link Emma back to the murder?
Ano?
What's this? Oh wait, already read this. Who cares? That cloth, it had fingerprints on it. Whoever fingerprints those are must be the real murderer. What? But those fingerprints? They're yours, Emma. Why are your lips turning all purple, Mr. Wright? Anyway, let's get on with the cross-examination.
Tinulak ka niya kasi, di ba? Kaya mapupunta yung kamay niya dun sa, sa vest.
So long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flush out the real murderer. Very well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination. I've been lying to you this whole time, just like when I lied about Abdal being dead. Chief Gant stopping the cross-examination. Come now, Uji. This is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen. Chief Gant? What, now you want to make me out as the bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense. Nope, you can't anymore. I'm afraid it's too late for that. You already refused to testify. You can't testify anymore.
Kung nag-refuse niya.
Yeah. What? You already declined to testify. That means you forfeited your right to make statements of any sort. This must be that risk we were talking about earlier. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your own neck. Oh, so what? You think I'm worried? Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements. What do you mean? The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence. Yes, that's true. Wait, you mean?
Meron siyang evidence na hawak?
Still have some conclusive evidence? No, I don't. But someone does. Someone? So, what's your excuse, Righto?
Ayaw niya sabihin mo.
Oh boy. Why have you been keeping quiet about it? You do have something to show us, right? Something that proves who knocked over Neil Marshall, causing his death. Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt. Is this true, Mr. Wright? If I showed that piece of evidence now, Emma's sure to be made out as the murderer.
Kaya paano palulusutan ni Mr. Wright yun, ni Phoenix?
If you have any evidence, Mr. Wright, present it now. And if you try to conceal anything, you will be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries. What do I do now? I'd better think this through carefully. Can't afford to make the wrong decision. Should I present that piece of evidence? The one that shows who really killed Prosecutor Marshall?
Cannot show?
What do you think? I'm pretty sure this can lead into a bad ending and an instant game over. If I remember correctly.
Kasi kung sino naman yan.
But what if not showing it doesn't count as concealing information as by the law?
Okay, cannot show na lang tayo.
But Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time. What? You
Tama
lie.
si Mami?
No, not yet at least. Chief Gant? You opened my safe. I know you took what was inside. The conclusive evidence. I don't know what you're talking about.
Sinungaling sa sinungaling na lang sila.
Bluff your way through. Mr. Wright, why don't you show them? We found it together. Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present it. What are you talking about, Chief Gant? Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at this picture. See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest area? It looks like part of it's been cut out for some reason. You mean, you had this in your safe? What? That means you, the chief of police, have been concealing evidence! This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department! Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gall, Righto. Well, I can't just let you pin me up as the murderer. I'll tell you what really happened. What? You mean, you admit to it? I was the first person to arrive at the crime scene that day. It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana. So, you really were manipulating her? I knew Lana. If I made it look like the blame lay with her sister, that when she saw the scene, she would ask me for my aid. So you assisted Miss Sky. I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room. And I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Dark convicted. When I tampered with the crime scene, I hid 2 pieces of evidence. This was before Lana arrived at the scene, mind you. Yeah, 2 pieces of evidence. You mean those items in your safe? But why? For insurance, of course. Insurance? Just in case something like this happened. I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for a murder that girl committed. You mean, you were calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence? What do you take me for, fool? I didn't make police chief by dumb luck. See this jar fragment? I hid the most legible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood off all the pieces. But if you fabricated all the evidence, what's to say you didn't fabricate the message on this jar too?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hindi mo susulat ni nakasabit siya sa eh.
Yeah. Some people just don't know when to quit, do they?
Nakasabit siya sa sulat.
That's why I kept one more item for insurance. You mean, that piece of cloth. Come on, Righto, cough it up already. I know you have it. What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright? So you admit to it then, Chief Gant. That you were hiding the cloth you cut out off the victim's vest in your safe. Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to, that being chief and all. But it's a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say for yourself? Just a moment ago, you said you didn't have any evidence you could present. Foolish move, Righto. Should have shown it then before it was too late. In a long battle. But the moment of truth has finally arrived. As long as I don't mess up here, victory is mine.
Jonah.
I don't actually know. What do you think?
Jonah. Show niya. Last option niya na yun Na.
Do you remember the rules of the law of evidence law?
Hmm. Kaya nga. Kung walang ano, evidence, walang ano. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Unregistered evidence is must be relevant to the hospital. Na-register ba yung plot na yun? Hindi naman, di ba? Oh, so pwede. Hindi siya i-show.
But is it relevant?
Yeah.
Go with what you think is right.
Relevant, but not registered. Show?
Alright, go ahead. Your Honor, I do have evidence to present now.
Tama sinabi. Kasi hindi sinabi sinabi.
Alright then, let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence that shows who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall. You gonna show that cloth?
What happened, Jar?
Why? Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest. Oh yes, at last you finally brought it out into the open. There's a handprint on this piece of cloth. Your Honor, the prosecution requests that be immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint on the leather. There must have been a strong impact for it to be left so clearly. You mean it could not have been forged? It must be authentic, conclusive evidence. Oh ho ho! You're as slow on the uptake as ever, Worthy. What?
Hindi kami naalam kasi. Nakailan na yun.
Think about it. Wright had all this time to present this evidence. Yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be? You mean you already know? You know whose fingerprints are on that? Mr. Wright, do you really know? Whoever the fingerprints belong to must be the real murderer.
Wala.
Whose fingerprints are they? Oh boy. Very well, I'll tell you. It should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. Keikakudori. Translator's note. Keikaku in Japanese means plan.
Kasi tulog naman si Emma eh, di ba? Naka-knock out eh. Ginanon niya.
Shawam. Emma? Emma Sky! What? They're mine? I'm sorry, Emma. But why? Why didn't you tell me?
Wala niya, winner na siya. Pero rebat din siya.
You're really something, Righto. You knew this girl did it all along.
No!
And you still tried to pin the murder on me. So it's true. Tragic, but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to his death. How could you? You monster! Miss Sky, You knew whose fingerprints those were all along, yet you acted like you really didn't. Miss Guy, it's not over yet. What? I said this trial isn't over yet. Ah, but I'm afraid it is over, boy. Not only this trial, but your career too. You purposely concealed this conclusive evidence. That's forging. Apparently. That, my friend, is a serious offense. Nah. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy! What's the matter? Can't get your tongue? Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer.
Ayan lang eh.
Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up. Oh? And what's that? Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall? What? Chief Gant, you're absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask? It was Emma Sky, wasn't it? I'm afraid that's not possible.
Layo kasi ng tatalsikap kung si Emma lang yun. Diba? Hindi yun gaya ng isang maliit na bata na itulak ng ganang kalakas ang isang mama. Tama ba ko?
I don't know. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction. What? A contradiction? What is this fool babbling about? I'm talking about a contradiction. One that proves who the real killer is. Mr. Wright, this piece of cloth? What could it possibly contradict? Chief Gant, your tyrannical reign ends here. Behold, a piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth. Evidence that Gant does not know about. Because it was hidden from him by Lana and given to us discreetly.
Napresent na natin ito, di ba? Ito?
No. There's a fourth page. Go to the next page.
Ito. Ito nga pala.
Do you see it? The contradiction? And what exactly is this supposed to be? This is the picture Miss Sky took. Take a good look at it. See where the piece of his vest was cut out. Can you see the contradiction?
Inisip ko nga eh.
Just let it go, and you'll see soon enough. Yes, his shirt is showing underneath.
Baka may kamay pa doon. Kamay ni Dan.
Let's keep going. It's hard to make out with all the blood on his vest, though. Exactly my point. His chest is soaked with blood. That's only natural. His lungs no doubt were punctured. Blood poured out of his mouth. Oh, but that piece of cloth?
Malinis, walang blood.
Yeah, that means it was cut beforehand. Wait, there's no blood on it! Ah! Since Emma Sky's fingerprints are on this cloth, there's no doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. However,
Pagtulak niya, hindi naman siya ang pumatay.
Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword at the time. No, this is nonsense! Now then, Chief Gant, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside. He most likely hit his head on the ground and was knocked out. If so, then tell me, who could it have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Miss Lana Sky? Picked up the unconscious prosecutor and impaled him on the armor's sword.
Grabe, sama naman yung daan. Nakakawin. Tapos sa pansabi ko yung
Then to make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death, said person proceeded to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood. A jar that they then broke on purpose to leave behind a clue. And make Lana believe her sister did it. Remember what you admitted only moments ago, that you personally cut out this bloodless piece of the victim's vest. Ironic, isn't it? Through the very act of creating insurance, you proved that you were the actual murderer. No! It's finally all over.
Well, tapos na pala natin ito ngayon eh.
Yeah, it seems so. Oh, that was close, Rhino. You almost had me. Sorry, but you'll have to do better than that. I refute all your allegations. What do you mean you refute his allegations? You see, that piece of cloth is illegal evidence. No, it isn't. Order! Order! What nonsense is this? Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a suspect. Remember, Uji? Evidence law. Earlier, old Righto here concealed that piece of cloth. Here it is. It's time to put the final nail in the coffin. Well, that's true. The defense did refuse to present evidence. At that moment, that piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence. But that's not fair. You actually think you could best me in court? It looks like the last laugh's on you, son. I'm afraid Mr. Gant's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edgeworth?
Si Edgeworth na tatapos niyan.
True. Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person. Assuming, of course, that the evidence is indeed illegal. Well, Mr. Wright? Here we go. It seems at last. The time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived. Mr. Wright, do you admit to it? That you purposefully and illegally concealed this piece of cloth? I don't know.
I did not.
What do you think? Is the evidence that you showed really illegal? Did you or did you not?
Did you not illegally conceal? Hindi kasi naman kinonceal ba niya evidence?
Did he conceal it though? Did
I did
you?
not.
If that is what you believe, then go ahead.
Yay!
I admit I refused to present it at
Tama
one
to, diba?
point. You're on the right track, baby. We were born this way.
Dati ako puro tama.
You're on a roll. Haha! So the evidence is illegal. Objection. No, it isn't, Mr. Gant. Huh? It's not that I didn't present evidence then. It's that I couldn't. What do you mean you couldn't?
Hindi pa rin.
There are certain procedures involved when presenting evidence. No, Uji! Don't listen to his lies! He's nothing but a coward! You can't really believe. There is only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not? Very well, let us settle this once and for all. Earlier, you refused to present evidence. If you can prove your conduct was not in violation of the law, then do so now. Go for it.
Represent na naman.
What proves that you are not in violation? Go ahead. You are very correct. You've won. This is my proof, Your Honor. Evidence law. What's this? I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma Sky's fingerprints were on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in time, this was merely a piece of cloth, nothing more. What? You see, it's written right here in this book. The second rule of evidence law. Rule number 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. I found this piece of evidence myself, inside your safe. It goes without saying, I did not have approval from the police department. Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And here's the crux of the matter. You see, at that time, it was impossible for me to prove the relevance between the cloth and the SL9 incident. What? What kind of nonsense is this? You want to relevancy? Just take one look at this picture and... Sorry, but can you recall, when was that picture presented? That was shown only a few moments ago. No. He's right. At the beginning of today's trial, that piece of cloth was still meaningless. The person who gave it value as evidence was you, Damon Gant. You yourself confessed to a certain truth. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! No! It was then that you approved this cloth as conclusive evidence to your murder. Yes, you, the chief of police, personally approved this cloth.
Sabi mo daw sa approval of the police, in-approve niyo eh.
Yep. The only person who could have cut this from the victim's vest is the one who stood before Prosecutor Marshall in his final moments. In other words, the real murderer, and there's only one person who that could be. You, Damon Gant, the killer was you!
Grabe naman.
I knew I should have gotten rid of him.
Para ka namang ano?
He was having a mental breakdown. Wasn't that very convincing? That good-for-nothing scum. For 2 years, he's been snooping around the department trying to get something on me. Crimes are being committed every day, yet he insisted on hounding me. Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty. You want to reinvestigate the case. Recruited Angel Star, then convinced Bruce Goodman. Detective Goodman? Yeah, that's right. I don't gotta voice act that.
Kausap niya ito si Goodman.
Goodman turned him down, as he ought to. Still, Jake Marshall didn't know when to quit. He stole Goodman's ID card and tried to take the evidence.
Summarization na.
Yeah. Goodman came to me that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room. Then all of a sudden, he decided to speak out.
Yan na.
Yep, the murder. What are you talking about, Goodman? Could you
So, siya na
please
pumatay
reopen
kay
the
Marshall?
investigation,
Siya
Chief?
pa pumatay kay Goodman?
Yes.
Oh.
We can't transfer the evidence out. There are too many questions left unanswered. He opened his evidence locker, and as he was taking the evidence out, he said, "It's not too late. I'm going to hand all this over to Marshall." Well, to be honest, I was a bit taken aback by his words. I had a bad feeling when he came to see me, but I never thought he'd bring up SL9. That's when I saw it. That accursed knife. I couldn't just pull it out. Doing so would have only led to more blood, making it near impossible to hide your crime. Even so, the blood was just pouring out. I didn't know who might stumble in, so I hurried to wipe it up. I was worrying so much about the floor I didn't realize my fatal mistake. The bloody handprint. Detective Gumshoe's locker. I used to be known as the crime computer, but everyone has to start somewhere, I guess. I was too nervous. I had no business doing any of it. Then you put the body in my car. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of any other way to move the body. I broke your trunk, but what's the big deal? You make a lot more than us detectives ever will. Leaving the prosecution's car aside, how? How could you get Miss Guy involved in all of this? Well, you had as much to lose as I did if the truth came out. So you took the evidence from Detective Goodman's locker. I felt bad for having to do it. I also didn't have the time to pick and choose what to take. So he just randomly took a piece of the jar and the thingy. So you left the jar fragments and the glove. Yeah. Looks like I was better off being an investigator of crimes than a committer. They all did their best to get in my way. I've got to hand it to them. They do their jobs well, much to my dismay. Fake evidence doesn't hold up very well upon close examination. You must have known that. Tell me, Worthy, why do you stand in court? Me? You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same.
No.
One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go it alone. Well, looks like it's time to say goodbye. Oh, Uji. What? Looks like we'll have to cancel that lunch date. That lunch he was about to go out to was with Uji, the judge. Sorry, old friend. I'm sorry too, Damon Gant. I knew you as you used to be long ago. You're once a fine investigator and an example to others on the force. I'm sorry to learn that you are no longer that person. Those days are gone now, Uji. Thanks for all the memories, though. Don't worry, you'll be fine. After all, you have Raito here. Now, and Worthy. With these two around, you can't go wrong. In fact, I can hear them already. The melodious sounds of a new beginning.
Mabaliw na siya. Mabaliw na si Damon yan.
I mean, he did do that laugh. There are two things I want you to understand. Yes? First, your sister never hurt anyone. Second, Damon Gat betrayed you from the beginning. You see, Miss Guy, you no longer have any reason to keep silent. You're right. When the trial is over, I'll tell everything. All that I've done these past 2 years. From the time I had Gant help me forge evidence, up until today. So, it seems all the questions raised in this trial have been answered. I'm sorry, Miss Guy. I can't get you out of all your trouble. My, what high standards you have for a rookie. I can see why Mia thought so highly of you. Who knows, a few years from now, you just might make it to the top. Nope. He forges evidence, and he gets retired.
Sino?
Phoenix.
Ha?
Find out in Apollo Justice. That's what we're playing next time. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. Yay, there's the smile that Emma used to love about Lana. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. Believe me, I know how much of an ordeal it's been for you. It was nothing. Liar. You were almost about to resign. I was worried the pressure might break you. And yet, you rose above it all and guided Mr. Wright to victory. You've done well, Mr. Edgeworth. Stop it! I only did my job. In light of this case, it seems a good self-examining is in order for all of us. Miss Guy. Yes, Your Honor. You are innocent of murder. However, although the chief blackmailed you, the fact is you still acted as his accomplice. A trial will be scheduled for these crimes at a later date. Yes, I understand, Your Honor. Is there something amusing about all of this? Why are you smiling? It's been a long time, Your Honor. A long time since I've felt free of these heavy chains. Hell yeah. Well, this trial has gone on far too long already. You got that right. Regarding the charge of murder, this court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, not guilty. Yay! Confetti. That is all. This court is adjourned. We did it. Almost dinner. At long last, it's finally over. Emma? Why the long face? I'm sorry your sister didn't get completely off the hook. At least she wasn't convicted for a murder she didn't commit. No, that's not it. Just now, after the trial ended.
Hindi siya pinasalamatan ng kapatid niya. Nagtatampo siya. Dalawa lang kasi.
You know, I did my best too. But Lana didn't say a single word to me. Yeah, that sucks. Hope I'm not interrupting anything. It's all you're always interrupting. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Lagi na lang. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Making a detective run all around while on duty. Stop it off, you called me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Yeah. Hey, lighten up, pals. I'm only kidding.
Oh, are you here because of my sister again?
Nope. Not this time. I came today because of you, pal.
Me?
That's right. I thought you'd like to see someone. Lana! Lana! Should you be doing this? She's still under arrest, you know. Well, I won't tell if you won't.
Emma, I owe you an apology. It's okay, sis. Don't worry about it.
That day 2 years ago was the first time in my life I ever panicked. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. All I could think about was keeping you from getting wrapped up in that mess. Yeah, goggles for investigation.
Sis, I asked Gan to help me cover up the truth. I thought I was doing it for your sake.
But now, I realize I was wrong. I changed after that day. I had to. It was the only way I could make it through the past 2 years. I knew how much I was hurting you by distancing myself. But I couldn't bring myself to tell you what I did. Me too, I gotta take a shower. Well, after lunch for me. I was scared. Scared that you'd look at me with those eyes of yours. I was scared of how you'd react if you knew. But sis, you were only doing it for me. No. Huh? I turned my back on you that day. In hiding what I believed to be the truth, I was deceiving you. Sis. I'm such a fool. It took me all this time to realize it. Emma, I'm so sorry. But sis, you don't have to apologize. I'm happy now. You're happy? Of course. You know, sis, I always knew that one day you'd come back. And now you have. Yeah. Oh, Emma. Emma! Yeah! No one can change the past. The only thing we can do is try to make up for our mistakes. Why must we make up for our mistakes, you ask? It's in doing so we can find a way back to our rightful path. And it's from there that we can move on toward a brighter future. Why did the sun turn western? At least, that's what I felt watching those two sisters make up. Mr. Wright, Mr. Gumshoe? Me? Thank you both for all that you've done. I'm sure we'll meet again someday. Isn't that right, Edgeworth? Edgeworth? Stop hiding and come over here. Lol. Where was he hiding? I just came to say, congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Right, well, I'll be going now. Mr. Edgeworth, I hope you don't blame yourself for what happened. We were the ones who acted corruptly, not you. And it's too late for me. No matter what anyone may say, I realize today that I can't correct my mistakes. Mr. Edgeworth. Not only that, but I don't even trust myself anymore. Chief Gant was right. I do despise criminals. I plan to dedicate my entire life to fighting them. But in order to fight crime on my own, I'd need a weapon. It's scary, but I've known that to be true for quite some time now. But Edgeworth, who knows? Given enough time, I might have tried to pull something like Chief Gant did. That thought terrifies me. That's why I can't continue on as a prosecutor.
Huh?
He quits, but he comes back later, if you remember correctly. Don't you understand? Damon Gant and your mentor, Manfred von Karma, were both the best of the best when it came to fighting crime. But they both made the same mistake. You said in order to fight crime on my own, I'd need a weapon. That may be true, but think back to today's trial. You weren't alone. You don't need weapons when you got friends! You were working together with Mr. Wright. And because of that partnership, you were able to present evidence that otherwise would have gone undiscovered. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Oh, yeah. What is this, a pop quiz? Come on, Mr. Wright, show him what Lana's talking about. Fuck, I forgot what evidence you gotta show. Hold on, let me see if I can figure this out. Evidence, huh? Something that neither Edgeworth nor I would have been able to find on our own. Oh, I remember now. Where is it? That's the picture I drew. Our counterattack began with this. You had one half of the evidence list, and I had the other. apart, we wouldn't have been able to completely restore Emma's picture. That didn't just happen
Hanggang sa
by
labas,
chance,
meron
Mr.
pang-
Edgeworth.
Ligo muna ako magkakain na.
It's time for me to go.
Gusto ko ng browas.
Mr. Edgeworth. If you'll excuse me, there are still some loose ends that need wrapping up. Take care, Chief Prosecutor. Edgeworth, what will you do now? Travel overseas. Well, whatever you do, just remember, you can let what happened kill the prosecutor in you, or you can let it help you grow. In the end, it's up to you. I know. It seems I owe you my thanks too, Wright. What I face now is my problem. Edgeworth, I'll be waiting for you in court. Farewell. And then Edgeworth leaves, and then we fight Francisca von Karma. And it all just happens. I'm barely going to. Okay, but I'll be by to visit soon. More like 7 years. It seems we both have a lot to learn and catching up to do. I'm pretty sure she's gonna get fired as chief prosecutor after all this. Yeah. Law scientific investigation book. It's the first book I ever brought. Study it well. Thanks sis, I will. Roll credits. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she just gets fired. I don't know, who knows? We never see. She never shows up again after this. So another case came to a close, and Emma never tells us what happened in Apollo Justice. As for the sisters, I have faith. Faith their lives have only just begun. And as for me, I think it's time I started a new journey of my own. A journey to rediscover myself. Well, don't go trekking off just yet. Oh, come on, when will the credits roll? Huh? What is it, detective? There's just a little matter to be resolved about the chief prosecutor. See, she isn't supposed to be out of jail like this. But I thought you said it was okay. I thought you said it was okay. Yeah, well, it may be okay with me, but the folks in the prison are a different story. Huh? Basically, I had to bribe a guard in order to sneak her out for 30 minutes. Believe me, it wasn't cheap either. Huh? Oh. Yeah, technically. Way to go, detective. I didn't know you had a wild side. Yeah, well, haha. You see, Mr. Wright, here's the one who will be footing the bill. Huh? Huh? What, you think I can afford it with my salary? You gotta be kidding me, pal. Huh? 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 Thank you, Mr. Wright. You're the best. Why is it I suddenly feel like I want to scream? Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we all go pay it off together? Yeah, that's a great idea. Come on, guys. Let's go. Although it's the credits, there's still some text during all this. I arranged for a friend of mine and Yurt to take care of Emma. I hope she'll be pleased to study under a top coroner. As for me, this affair has pretty much ended my days as the prosecutor at the prosecutor's office. Still, I'll manage to find my way back to the field somehow. Then, I'll be able to investigate crimes together with Emma.
So, aalis si Emma pa yun.
Yeah, to study and fail her college. She fails.
Huh?
Yeah,
Bakit?
she doesn't become forensic scientist. Instead, she becomes investigator.
Investigator siya.
Yeah, because I thought I was a goner for a moment there in the end, though. They overlooked my unauthorized investigation at the chief's office. If we penalize you anymore, it'd be worse than firing you. Yep, that's what they said. It just goes to show, can't shake me off that easily.
Yabang.
Yeah, I mean, he shows up in the second and third game still. So of course he didn't get fired.
Tatapos silang video eh.
Yep. My new mission is to guard the main entrance and take care of Billy. Can you believe it? I've been demoted to a security guard. My partner's keeping an eye on the entrance for me today. I'll show them though. Someday I'm going to make detective. Yes, sir. Then I can be just like that Dick Gum too. Stop. We're still recording. Can't believe they used the fingerprint thingy for the credits.
Cute nga.
Yeah, they're spraying it and then blowing it off to reveal. Instead of fingerprints, text, credits. It's the fucking Blue Badger. Defender of truth and justice. This is
Sama
his
rin siya
entire
sa
life now.
character,
Oh no! I guess he's dead now. What is it? Can't you see I'm having me a showdown with a steak lunch, partner? Miss Star managed to sneak this in on me. He's staying on with the guard seems. Well, cowboy, looks like you did it. Even gave him Bean back her smile. You make sure Billy and the gang get their water? Don't worry, I'm sure. Meekins can take good care of it. Maybe, hopefully. Who knows with that guy? Looks like we won't be seeing each other for a while.
Okay.
As a farewell gift, I put a new meal on the menu. The
This
right
is
way
about
lunch. The top layers taste as bitter as defeat, but the bottom layers as sweet as victory. Kids seem to dig the turnabout theme. It's a hot seller around exam time. Just make sure not to eat it backwards. Brandon Gay. Oof. I'll never forget what that young defense lawyer said after the trial. Let's see, what was his name again? Mr. Left?
And look,
Anyway, he said he's been doing something or other for how many years? Well, anyway, I've got another trial to get to, so I'd better be... Oh no, I forgot my gavel. Sorry, gotta go.
may gavel.
The hammer.
Ganon.
Yeah.
Araw ngayon, Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday.
Thought for sure it'd take us 2 more days. I guess I forgot. Just how... Oh hey, it's Maya.
Ah, nothing suits the soul like fresh country air. Still, sometimes I do miss hearing you and your objection. Still, I can't go back until I'm a full-fledged spirit medium. Mystic Maya, afternoon training's about to begin.
Sino yun?
Pearly? I gave her Pearl's voice. Well, see you around, Nick.
Umusyo sa kanya si...
I'd like to imagine it was Pearl.
Ayan. Sa second na ano natin, doon sila Maya.
Yeah.
Sinunod ang si
Wait,
Gamshu.
no, the second game and the third game, as well as the first game we already watched in the anime, we're moving to Apollo Justice after this. With the new main character, Apollo Justice.
So wala na si Phoenix, right?
He'll still be there. Your first frickin' case. I forgot what it's called, but yeah, the defendant there is Phoenix. He's accused of murder.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Sino magtatanggol sa kanya? Si Apollo Justice?
Yeah.
Sino ang prosecutor? Bago rin.
Obviously, for the first case, it's gonna be against Pain. It's a tradition with him. But afterwards, it's some guy called Gavin, a rock star. And also
Ang
a lawyer.
prosecutor?
Yeah, a prosecutor and a rock star. He's the best. Whenever I want to see Lana, all I have to do is open this book. Alright, because she's in Europe now. I get it. Just like with the other book.
Wait, there.
Nice.
and she was still a detective.
Sa iba ba on na picture?
That's the end.
Hap. Ligo muna si Mami bago tayo kumain.
Go ahead.
Nalalagkit tayo ba? Yung nagaraya mo, bulagay dyan. Oh,
Saan?
sa hig. Diyan na ang mga langgam eh.
Pam 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 pam. Nice, exactly 1 hour. Was all it took for us to do all that. Amazing.